It's always a great day to be in the desert, and no, you don't need the ocean to have the beach. Pac-12 beach volleyball from Tucson, Arizona. We are at Bear Down Beach on the campus of the University of Arizona for the second day of the Wildcat Spring Challenge. I'm Anne-Marie Anderson alongside three-time Olympian Holly McPeak. Holly, we saw 5 duels on Pac-12's air yesterday. Great day of action. We have 3 more today.
Fantastic day yesterday for both Arizona and Cal, who went undefeated, beating Stetson and Arizona State. The first 2 matches, both of those teams will face off against Colorado Mesa, and then the 2 undefeated teams will face each other. Cal, number 14 in the country, versus Arizona, number 15.
Yeah, we'll finish things up with that top 15 matchup. Hi, everybody. Anne-Marie and Holly, as we said, let's take a look at this first duel and talk about this Arizona team. Steve Walker has made a few tweaks and changes.
Well, he's had to make some tweaks and changes because 2 of his key players are out with injuries, but having a deep bench is important in the sport of beach volleyball. You don't know when someone's going to get sick, injured. You need players to step in, and Steve Walker doing a good job using his bench.
Yeah, and you'll notice you've moved some pairs around today, and so as we take you through the format a bit, it's 5 courts of action today as they face Colorado Mesa in this first duel of the day.
And they'll face off at the same time, so 5 matches will be going on at the same time. The first program to win 3 of 5 wins the duel. All 5 pairs again competing at the same time. First 2 sets to 21. You must win by 2 of a third set if necessary to 15.
Yep, Colorado Mesa got better every duel yesterday.
And that's important. You're a Division II team facing off against some strong Division I competition. You want to learn from this and get better strategically and technically each match.
Though there's 5 courts of action, we're going to start our attention on court number 1. The 1 pairs, Natalie Anselmo and Olivia MacDonald working out some kinks yesterday versus Colorado Mesa's 1 pair, Taylor Woods and Katie Scherr.
Taylor Woods trying to cut that ball super sharp, missing by an inch, but you're going to see 2 strong defensive players in this match. Taylor Woods for Colorado Mesa and Natalie Anselmo for Arizona.
And they're both undersized. Woods at 5'4", Anselmo 5'6", and both of them take great rips on the ball.
There you see Taylor Woods going over the block. Olivia MacDonald actually made a nice move to try and get it, but could not.
Be interesting to see if anybody other than Woods and Anselmo get served in this match. Little doesn't go.
Good idea to go short poke shot. That's one of the things we talked about with David Scaff. It's really important for them to have control of those short shots, especially when the block drops off the net. That one falls a little short for Colorado Mesa.
Up, Woods. Got about 1 million shots in her pocket, so does Anselmo. Sharp cut, he works.
Well, the interesting thing is Taylor Woods, the defender for Colorado Mesa, in the angle, and Natalie Anselmo's cut was so sharp that she couldn't even get it.
It's always satisfying. Blocker up, off the left hand.
Interesting, Taylor Woods that time going to the left side to earn a side out. And MacDonald just a little bit late on her press over. You want to make sure you press over the net first as a blocker.
Aaron to set.
Well, I think Olivia MacDonald was trying to bump that ball over on 2, maybe just a little bit of indecision at the last second.
And an ace serve for Katie Scherr.
Katie Scherr served a nice deep float that caught Natalie Anselmo by surprise up high. Her platform just not out in front to cut that ball off.
Going at Anselmo again. Strong rip is good in the sand.
There you see the aggressive swing by Natalie Anselmo. Arizona using a little bit lower set. Natalie Anselmo just gets up and rips it. She loves to hit that hard angle.
You're talking about the lower set. We had some gusting winds yesterday, perfectly still this morning.
Yeah, I think, you know, you can run a higher set today because wind is not a factor, but in the wind, a low set is much more effective. The higher you go with the set, the wind just tends to take it. There you see again the power by Natalie Anselmo into the anger. Taylor Woods right there.
Steve Walker, head coach of Arizona, birthday yesterday, ended up with another top 20 win, a ranked win. His 5th season as the Wildcats head coach. That first season in 2012, they played only 5 duels. That's how much the game has grown.
And he was able to take his program to the NCAA tournament in 2016 and finish 5th.
Yeah, that was the first ever NCAA championship in beach volleyball as the sport went from an emerging sport to an NCAA championship sport very quickly.
That ball passed too tight into the net. Katie Scherr trying to get there and do something with it, but net violation. You see Taylor Woods was on the other side of the net. She was playing on the right side. Now she's on the left side.
Continuing at Woods. Woods has been on the 1 pairs for Colorado Mesa all 3 years as she's blocked there by MacDonald.
Taylor Woods needs to take care of her pass if she wants to side out against a strong Arizona team.
We're keeping track of the other courts as well. The 3 pairs, Baham and Burling leading, and on the 5 pairs, Martin and Harris leading. But all of these very close sets so far, except for court 4, where the score is 10-1, as Nady and Watanabe are leading.
Look at this overhand dig by Natalie Anselmo in the high, deep cornered line shot in transition for Arizona. Beautiful execution.
To the outside of the back line.
Hard to defend if you're digging on the other side of the net.
15-7 record this season as partners for these two. And we had a chance to catch up, you and I did, with Natalie Anselmo's parents, John and Sherry, earlier today. As you take a look at this ball down.
Look at this sharp cut shot. What a beautiful hand contact by Taylor Woods. Had to be perfect to get down.
Her parents telling us that Natalie was touched a ball probably 3 to 4 years old. By 7, she was playing ball with her parents and very competitive.
Yeah, I remember the story. Her mom was saying at 7 or 8 years old, she wanted to know who was winning, what the score was, and she could recall the plays and what happened. So she was competitive at an early age.
Yeah, she and her dad would play against her sister Mary, her older sister Mary, and her mom.
I love it. I love the family competition.
Yeah.
My family, woo, it was war. No matter what the sport.
You with the twin brother, I can only imagine.
Oh, yeah.
There's Anselmo again, and they have just gone to work.
Well, Natalie Anselmo trying to hammer that ball down from the middle of the court, and it catches the top of the net cord and goes wide. So that's the Colorado Mesa ball.
And Woods with 3 different partners over the last 3 years. She chose Colorado Mesa because she wanted to play both indoor and beach.
That is an area right there of improvement for Natalie Anselmo. She used to not be able to control the poke shot. Now she goes up, tight ball, and just pokes it over the line block. Beautiful.
Left hand.
Olivia,
handles that.
Yeah, Olivia MacDonald making her presence felt. It's important to line up on the ball and not go high with your hands. You want to go over and cut off the angles of the hitter. That makes the defender behind you's job easier.
Going high to the line, MacDonald. Tomahawk dig.
That ball set tight to the net, and Olivia MacDonald could not keep that ball in play.
A serve for Woods.
I love the short serve. It catches teams by surprise, and it also takes the approach away from the hitter. A small player needs an approach. So even if she passes that small player who's the passer has to work to get off the net and get an offensive approach.
Why does a small player need an approach as opposed to a larger player?
Well, a large player is already big and has a higher point of contact. The small player has to work and jump and get their feet to the ball. I'm not saying a big player doesn't. They need to as well, but their advantages are already big.
They're already part way up there.
Yeah.
I
You
get
know how that feels, right?
I do, kind of, in a way. David Scaff, the head coach of Colorado Mesa, it's a program that he's really worked hard to develop. He moved to Grand Junction, he was 7 years old, went to school at Mesa State. He takes studying volleyball very seriously, Holly.
He did. He came to California, studied under Tom Black. He studied under USA Volleyball, Karch Karai, and really learned a lot from those coaches and took that back to Colorado Mesa. Right now he has 5 beach-only athletes, and every week they practice 5 days a week, but 3 on the beach and 2 indoors because a lot of these players go back and forth.
Still a very young program, Colorado Mesa. 2016 was their first sand season. As you mentioned, Woods was on the one pairs then with a different partner. They only have outdoor courts at Colorado Mesa, and so he gets creative on the days when the courts are covered in snow. Unless they can shovel the snow off. I mean, think about that for your feet. You shovel the snow off, the sand's still so cold.
Sounds miserable.
But it isn't for them. They're tough players.
I agree. I agree. I'm spoiled from the Cali weather.
Yep, 3 different courts on their facility, by the way, and we talked about this yesterday. Varying winds on those courts, so they get a really nice differential between each court.
Definitely. 1 court no wind, 1 court's a wind tunnel, and 1 court moderate wind. So depending on what you want to work on, it prepares you for all the situations.
MacDonald continues to serve Woods. Anselmo, one hand up, but poked down by Scherr. And so let's step away from the 1 pairs and go over to the 4s. We mentioned earlier that Nady and Watanabe had moved it down a notch. They started the day yesterday at 2s, moved to 3s, now at 4s, and have been dominating in this matchup versus Dixon and Crane.
Well, Casey Nady usually plays at 2s with Olivia Halloran, who's out with a back injury right now, but with Sarah Watanabe playing at 4s and comfortable lead right now. Casey Nady very physical at the net. All-conference blocker for the University of Oregon indoors. And boom, you see why. The physicality of Casey Nady. She can go far in the sand.
Cracks a little smile there. Nady, her first season at Arizona, grad student, as you mentioned, or redshirt senior. Loving it. Originally recruited by Steve Walker for the indoor team under Dave Rubio. Ended up going to Oregon and then came back around full circle.
Best of both worlds. 4 years at Oregon, 1 here at Arizona.
Yep. Originally from Arizona and then moved over to Southern California. And another tough serve, Watanabe out of Hawaii.
Sarah Watanabe trains with former AVP pro Alika Williams. Really has some good beach skills, nice hand, and has been working to get in the lineup. Good opportunity today with Casey Nady.
Watanabe in the net at set point. It remains set point.
The middle serve working. Haley Crane serves a beautiful serve down the middle.
So it remains now set point number 3. Serving Watanabe. Nady. Discipline. And there's the first set in the books for Nady and Watanabe. Let's jump over to court number 2 now and check in there with Devlin and Purdue leading Gianinetti and Peterman of Colorado Mesa.
Stephanie Purdue and Haley Devlin have been so solid for Arizona, moving up in the pairs department. Both are long, have nice control of their offense, and play really strong defense.
And this Devlin or Gianinetti Peterman pair is a tough one for Colorado Mesa. They're the only team to take a set in the later match yesterday against Arizona State.
Yeah, we saw them push Arizona State, the only team from Colorado Mesa to push a 3rd set.
And they jumped out in this first set 4-1 before Arizona answered back, especially with Purdue. It's had 8 kills so far for Arizona in this set.
Right now, Colorado Mesa struggling, making too many errors offensively, and Devlin Purdue taking advantage.
Ace serve puts Devlin and Purdue at set point.
Tough serve. Stephanie Purdue really excuse me, Haley Devlin popping that serve, dropping out.
For the set. Going at Peterman. Just trying to get it over, and it does not work. So it remains set point.
Missed opportunity for Arizona to slam the door on Colorado Mesa. But nice cushion here. All they need is one side out ball.
For the set, looking for the corner and gets it. Arizona takes the first set there, and on court one, Anselmo and MacDonald also took the first set. Let's take a look at court three, where the score is 18-10. Johnny Baham and Brooke Burling leading Ritter and Gilfert.
Nice hustle play by Casey Gilfert right there. She was in middle blocker at NAU, learning the beach game, getting better every day. Anytime you're a middle blocker indoors, making the transition to beach is challenging because you need to learn the small things, the setting, you know, the footwork. More comfortable at the net usually are middle blockers.
Yeah, it's always that pull off the net. It's the first thing we hear the coaches talk about. When to pull. Longer rally. Little.
Brooke Burling with a nice little roll shot that drops. One of the things Steve Walker talked about is putting his 10 best players on the court. So even though Brooke Burling isn't a big block, she's a solid volleyball player. Good ball control.
Set point for Arizona's three pair. Ball is long, and Baham and Burling winning set number one for Arizona. So let's jump over to fives, the only one still in their first set. A little bit tighter, Martin and Harris leading Todd and Norwood. This is one of the changes when we talked about Steve Walker's changes. He really wanted to get the lefty, Chelsea Harris, in today.
Chelsea Harris, a fifth-year transfer from Rice. She played indoor, and she was the opposite hitter. What an athlete. She's got a great arm, and again, learning every day. That's the thing, when you make that transition from indoor to beach, it's a learning process. She's working on her master's in public health, and Steve Walker says wonderful things about this young athlete.
Yeah, he says that she's one of his leaders. She's emerged that way, and says that he just felt like she earned the opportunity. Yesterday, Martin was with Cordis and had success. Looking to hammer it across, and they do. But Martin and Harris,
that ball hit just wide.
Harris serves down the line. Staying to block, and the tool the other way.
Beautiful side out by Natalie Todd, getting it by the block of Chelsea Harris over the line. Deflection out of the range of the defender.
And some of what Colorado Mesa had to do yesterday was due to a medical issue to one of their players. They had to make a very late switch, and it really shook up the whole program. They're back to their normal lineup today, and so we get to see players who are used to being teammates together. Norwood and Todd looking strong. Cuddy puts it down and puts him at set point.
How about that? Chelsea Harris set that ball wide, but McKenna Martin is so athletic. She's able to hit that ball with her left hand and get enough spin for that ball to drop. McKenna Martin grew up playing some beach volleyball, so she's an experienced player, although her focus lately has been indoor volleyball for Arizona.
For the set, and Colorado Mesa not going away.
Natalie Todd identified the angle block and just nice high shot over the angle block. You see Martin running to the line. It's important for the hitter to identify that. Some hitters don't look, and they'll end up hitting it right to the defender.
Sets up just strong down the line. Martin's kill gives the five pair set one. Arizona wins set one across the board. Set two when we come back.
You're watching Pac-12 Arizona.
Pac-12 Beach Volleyball is brought to you by State Farm, here to help life go right. Second day of action on Pac-12 Network in the Wildcat Spring Challenge in Tucson, Arizona. 8 duels brought to you over the course of 2 days. This is the first duel of our final day. It is Colorado Mesa versus Arizona. Arizona, Holly, won the first set across the board. We're going to start with the two pairs. What impressed you about Devlin and Purdue?
Well, Devlin and Purdue, they're both long. They cover the court well in some really nice offensive hand control. They move the ball around the court, and I like watching that. Both of them move well defensively. You see Purdue run that short ball down, but Colorado Mesa's Megan Gianinetti taking advantage of that ball, shooting it deep for the Colorado Mesa point.
Yeah, and Gianinetti and Peterman were impressive yesterday as well.
We saw them push Arizona State to a third set and really fought them hard till the end.
They had trailed in that entire third set until set point. They came up, had to go to extra points, the Sand Devils did, in order to win.
Tough serve right there. I like the pop. Nice flat float serve by Megan Gianinetti.
Tied up now at 7 apiece as Gianinetti and Peterman look like they've made a few adjustments. Devlin and Purdue gonna have to adjust back.
Anytime you get in trouble with that kind of a passing situation, you want to think about getting your platform, your arms out sooner. That helps you pass that ball in front of you.
Yeah, this team of Devlin and Purdue had worked their ways from 4s to 3s. Devlin had a concussion earlier in the year, started as a walk-on, now a scholarship player. Really just has been everything that Steve Walker has wanted.
And she's a long body, which helps at the net. You see on that tight play, pressing over, cutting off the hitter's angles. I like that.
For Steve Walker to have the Witt twins graduate, who are such a marquee of this program, he really brought in some key transfers, including Stephanie Purdue, who played indoor at Southern Miss.
Look at that beautiful option onto just finding the line for Colorado Mesa.
Serve down the middle.
Bringing in 5th year, and wow, look at that arm by Stephanie
That's who we're talking
Purdue.
about, Stephanie Purdue.
Open net, and she takes advantage. I love it. But bringing in 5th year students definitely helps because they're mature athletes, but the downside is you only get them for 1 year.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, she was an indoor player at Southern Miss. Her sister lives in Tucson, so she came here. She's with her sister, grad student. But as you said, just 1 year.
And we got to see Stephanie Purdue's brand new, was it a niece or nephew? The little baby we saw
2 weeks old.
yesterday.
Yeah.
2 weeks old. Coming to watch her aunt play. I love it.
Haley Devlin serving now. She's had 3 blocks in this set already. Cut aside.
You cannot cheat on defense or Devlin will take advantage of you.
Taking a look at the 4-pair score, Watanabe and Nady out to a 5-point lead in set number 2. You'll remember their dominating set 1 win. So smooth.
I love the way Stephanie Purdue sees the court. She's going away from the defender every time. And she's relatively new to the beach game, but mature athletes seeing the game well.
Serve could have been an ace, but Peterman chasing it down. Block is up. And Purdue is getting better and better every day.
You see her moving the ball around the court, and they're giving Colorado Mesa a lot of open net. That puts a lot of pressure on the offensive player with 2 players down to put the ball away, and right now Arizona having a lot of success.
Pac-12 Beach Volleyball is brought to you by State Farm, here to help life go right. What a gorgeous day here in Tucson. While court 2 is on a break, let's go back to court number 1, where Anselmo and MacDonald have come out on fire.
Well, it looks like they're taking advantage Right now, versus Colorado Mesa, 15-4. That's a dominating lead. Olivia MacDonald very strong at the net, and Natalie Anselmo, the very quick defender behind her.
Woods continuing to receive all the serves, no one on.
Well, she saw the retreating dropper or blocker and just did not execute the ball where she wanted to, cutting this ball out of bounds. For a smaller player, open net is actually more difficult. You want the blocker at the net so you only have one defender chasing down your shots.
And here is the one blocker up.
When the ball's tight to the net, that's when you want your blocker to stay, because she can affect the hitter much more. This time MacDonald stays, presses over. Woods trying to go deep corner. I like the idea, just missing that long.
Sizable lead for Anselmo and MacDonald. And so while they're on a break, we'll pop back over to court number 2. 14-8 lead for Devlin and Purdue, and an ace serve as they go right at Gianetti's face.
I like that serve. Haley Devlin not just serving it right in the bread basket, which is where the platform is with the arms together, serving it high at the chest. So you got to move your feet and get out of the way if you're the passer.
And you might remember this was tied up at 7-7. It's been a 6-0 run as of late for Devlin and Purdue. Nice up by Peterman. That's a solid play for the Wildcats.
But I like the scrappy play by Colorado Mesa, really making Arizona work for it. Stephanie Purdue comes up with the dig, chases it over, and then cracks it hard right at Megan Gianinetti, who can't control it.
The big part for me in that rally, Gianinetti popping it over on 2, and it did not drop. Devlin and Purdue chasing it down. Transition ball. Off the top of the net, they'll take it.
Open net, Megan Gianinetti gets a dribbler to fall. That's a break for Colorado Mesa. She hit that just hard enough to go to the other side of the court.
Purdue has had 5 kills in this set, not a single error. Oh, so beautiful.
How about that cut shot? That's a tough one to defend. Gianinetti middle deep, waiting for anything else but that.
We'll swing back over to court number 1. Anselmo pass. Rips it. Deep cross.
If you have a scouting report on this team from Arizona, you have to know Natalie Anselmo loves to hit that hard ball angle. You don't need to cheat for that line shot. Take her high priority shot, the one she hits the most away from her, and then make her hit the shot she's less comfortable with.
Right, and you should have a scouting report after yesterday, if not before. Woods chases but unable to get it as Anselmo and MacDonald steamroll heading towards the first point of the duel for Arizona.
Well, you saw the power cross court and then the high line shot there from Anselmo. She's got all the shots. She's using the court well.
Woods up, blocked, and it is match point for Arizona's one pairs, Anselmo and MacDonald.
That's when you want Taylor Woods to shoot over the block, not try and challenge the block, where Olivia MacDonald has the size advantage at 6 feet compared to Woods 5'4".
Both the 1 and 2 pairs heading towards the end of their matches on the right. This is for the match and for the first point. And that does it as Anselmo and MacDonald win on the right side of the court, court number 1. On the left side, keep your eyes over there as this is match point there too. And so Devlin and Purdue pick up another point for Arizona. And very quickly, this duel becomes a 2-0 lead for Arizona.
I feel like Arizona's getting better in that second set, kind of adjusting after the first set and really pulling away.
Let's go over to court number 4. The next set win for Arizona gives them the duel. And so for the fours, it's 19-13 as Baham and Burling leading Ritter and Gilfert.
Casey, Nady, Scherr, Watanabe wrapping up, getting the third point for Arizona.
And Arizona wins the duel with a 3-0 lead, but we'll cover it to completion as Nady and Watanabe are really dominating performance today.
Yeah, I love the physicality of Casey Nady. She could be a big factor when she gets her partner Olivia Halloran back.
And here's the threes: Baham, Burling, Ritter, and Gilfert.
Johnny Baham grew up on the beach, playing lots of experience in the sand. Just good game experience. Small defender playing behind Brooke Burling, who's about 5'10",
Casey.
who was a full-time defender last year, now blocking for Arizona.
Baham, you mentioned it earlier, one of the most successful athletes individually in terms of record. Another good swing by Baham.
Yeah, you see that nice pass, and then the set was a little bit wide. Johnny gets her feet to the ball. Good offensive attack.
Ritter up. Good swing, Doug. Little wins it.
Love it. Great dig. And then the short poke on the open net drops. Arizona right now tying it up.
Much stronger performance by Colorado Mesa's Gilfert and Ritter.
Brooke Burling, if she's going to drop off the net, she needs to get stopped, get that platform out, and be ready. When you drop off the net as a blocker, 90% of the players attack you.
Long and off hands.
Let's switch it, please. It's going to be Johnny.
Side switch at 14-all. Colorado Mesa keeping it close in this second set.
Trading back and forth, and for Colorado Mesa, this is important. They want to be able to push anything they can to a third set. Yes, they've already lost the duel, but they're looking for the small victories this weekend.
Definitely learning, challenging themselves, learning what to do in certain situations. And Colorado Mesa hanging around tight in this second set.
Yeah, and they don't have a point yet in this duel. I mean, in this tournament. So they want to see, you know, if they can get a set win, make it a 4-1.
Look at this great pass by Casey Gilfert. Gets up open net and then hard angle, catching Johnny Baham by surprise.
Ball up, heading deep. Off the block.
Colorado Mesa, so aggressive in transition. Gilfert really feeling it, and the set is nice and tight to the net. Gilfert going high off the hands of Brooke Burling.
Little over, picked up. Cuddy.
What a dig by Gilfert on that little back bump set. The hustle, lays it down. Look at this.
Nice.
But then Brooke Burling gets a second attempt, and beautiful cut shot, too sharp for the defender. Stuck in the middle.
You can really see where this Colorado Mesa program is going. I mean, only their second year, and there's been moments and spectacular plays, terrific athletes.
All tied up. Yeah, Gilfert has been very impressive, making the transition from indoor to beach. She had a little bit of a late start, but very athletic. Seeing the game well for Colorado Mesa.
Yeah, only 2 full seasons under their belt already, working their way through their 3rd season.
This is crunch time. Arizona wants to finish this out in 2 sets, and Colorado Mesa looking to extend it to a 3rd.
Turning the other way. And what a spot.
Love that hand contact by Johnny Baham, the freshman. Watch her get up and turn this ball with her hand down the line away from the diving defender.
Thank you.
On the run, staying down off the tape. Fortunate one for Ritter.
Switch it.
Well, they just didn't give up and got that ball to drop, keeping it close, just down by 1 in the second set.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big swing there. It goes from potentially 3 points up to just 1. It's one of the few times you get to talk to your coach is on a side switch, just briefly.
And Samantha Ritter will go back to serve. She's also from Illinois, facing off against Brooke Burling on the other side of the net from Naperville, Illinois.
Ritter serves. Open net. Great placement.
Johnny.
The experience of Johnny Baham really paying off. She's moving the ball around the court offensively. If you're Colorado Mesa, do you keep it on her or do you try Brooke Burling for a couple?
What would you do, you think?
I like mixing it up if something's not working.
A serve puts Baham and Burling at set point, match point.
And I love the deep middle serve. It creates offense out of the middle. It creates confusion. You need to communicate. High percentage play.
Big power coming through. Love the fight of Gilfert and Ritter.
Yeah, they're not going away easily. And right now, Gilfert at the net trying to stay alive in this match.
No one on. Opportunity to pound. Passed up. Blockers pulling off. Makes a run for it and a win for Arizona's 3 pairs.
It was interesting. Colorado Mesa went to Burling at the end. They were able to get a dig, but in transition, the surgeon, Johnny Baham, look at this shot deep over the defender's head. I love it.
One, 2, 3, and 4 all got victories already today. And so it's a 4-0 lead for Arizona. They have won the duel, still 1 court in action. It's time now for our State Farm Get to a Better State.
Casey Nady at the net, putting some pressure on Colorado Mesa. Haley Devlin gets a good block touch and then transition to the corner for Arizona. And then Johnny Baham just using every inch of the court for her offense.
Those were all the winning points of those first few matches here at Bear Down Beach. Arizona now with a 4-0 lead in the duel. Only court number 5 is still in action, and Norwood and Todd have answered the bell. They are leading Martin and Harris.
You see Chelsea Harris, the lefty, getting up, and what an athlete. Gets up and just hammers that ball. She's new to the beach game, but really has worked hard for an opportunity to compete for Arizona. Cannot miss serves at this point in the game when you're down by 3 points to Colorado Mesa. On the side switch, Steve Walker is going to talk to his team. David Scaff also talking to his team of Norwood and Todd.
Arizona Wildcat Steve Walker saying, look, I don't want to call this a rebuild. That's maybe disrespectful to the players that we've had here for years, but it is definitely a transition, and there's some growing pains, he has said, and some adjustment needed. But he's making adjustments between duels. I mean, he's really interested in seeing who's going to answer the bell the most.
And that's what you need to do, give players opportunities to prove themselves. See David Scaff talking to his team. Another missed serve for Arizona. Their last 2 service attempts long, giving Colorado Mesa that 17-13 cushion.
Up, hammered down. Arizona decisive.
Not sure if Colorado Mesa was scoring their points off Chelsea Harris early, but the last couple swings from her look undiggable.
And again, Harris getting the call today, her first action of this weekend.
That ball hit wide. Arizona trying to make a push to take care of this second set and win in 2.
Yeah, they're chipping away at that lead now. Up, down the line, and it was good.
I love the ball control from McKenna Martin. The libero indoors for the indoor team, so she's got great defensive skills, good at reading the game, and that time offensively finding the open court.
Trying to chase it around, little shot, picked up, staying with the play. Longest rally we've seen from these two, caught in the net.
And McKenna Martin just keeps it alive. Chelsea Harris had a nice retreat off the net and dig, but the McKenna Martin in the right spot here. Ball drops over the net, unforced hitting error for Colorado Mesa. Arizona down 17-18. Actually, tied up at 17.
Now it's 17 apiece, yeah, and they were down by 4, so overcoming that deficit are Martin and Harris. These are pivotal points here towards the end of the set. If Colorado Mesa can answer and push it to a third set.
Natalie Todd able to beat the block right here. Chelsea Harris a little bit late on her press over the net, and that ball sneaks through her block. You see all the coaches talking to the players on the slow walk side change.
Significant points here for Norwood and Todd. As you look at them, would you rather them serve Martin or Harris? Do you have a preference?
Well, I guess Chelsea Harris is probably the least experienced. McKenna Martin moving the ball around the court, but you can also think, okay, let's serve McKenna Martin and make Chelsea Harris set the ball. That's the biggest challenge as a new player on the beach, but missing your serve at this point, tough to do.
And again, no wind today, at least this morning. Big difference from yesterday's matches in the afternoon. Block, dug. And another strong one, that's big points.
Natalie Todd staying aggressive at the net for Colorado Mesa after getting blocked the first one. They recover, they relax and execute their second attempt. Good aggressive swing. She did not get tentative after getting blocked the first one.
Ace serve. You know, it's Norwood and Todd at set point.
You know what I like about that? It wasn't in a particular play. It was a little bit more middle, and it caused some problems for Arizona.
Especially with the new pair. They haven't had tons of experience, and so 2 consecutive ace serves, and Norwood and Todd extend it to a third set. Second set victory for Colorado Mesa.
And good strategy, good adjustment by Mesa.
When we come back, the 5 pair, Norwood and Todd versus Martin and Harris.
So
well, Pac-12 beach volleyball is some of the best in the country, and all those Pac-12 teams will square off against each other April 26th, 27th, and 28th on the campus of Stanford University for the Pac-12 Beach Volleyball Championships. Looking forward to having you there watching all the greatest volleyball on Pac-12 Network at the Pac-12 Beach Volleyball Championships the end of April.
This could be one of the most exciting years yet because the depth of the Pac-12 is growing every year.
It certainly is, and giving a good look at number 15, Arizona today. Today is Bring Your Dog Day. It's really fun. There's a ton of dogs around. I feel like everybody's dog is better behaved than mine, though, as I'm watching. Everyone's dogs just sit quietly watching beach volleyball.
Yeah, maybe they're used to being outside.
I think so.
Watching sports, I don't know.
It's a fun day. Great atmosphere here at Bear Down Beach. Norwood and Todd of Colorado Mesa pushed Martin and Harris after losing the first set. Ended up they were tied up at 17 apiece, and then a couple of ace serves at the end of the second set pushed them ahead.
Colorado Mesa served aggressively towards the middle. They didn't go at one particular player. I think a lot of teams make that error. They go too much at the left side or the right side and don't think about serving the seams and making the passers move. And that really throws teams off and makes them uncomfortable.
Well, and especially in a new pair like this, right? Chelsea Harris getting the nod today, but they did not play together yesterday.
Look at this little poke, short middle. Erin Norwood at 5'6", a freshman from Ridgeway, Colorado, finding the open sand.
Now Colorado Mesa is not going to get a break, by the way. They are playing Cal next. Pounded down the line.
Boom, Chelsea Harris using her physicality to terminate that ball. Nice set by McKenna Martin as well.
Take a look at it again.
Yeah, Natalie Todd lined up pretty well, just didn't protect her line enough as the blocker.
Splitting there, and now Harris patrolling the net.
And that was the tough serve from McKenna Martin. We saw them make Arizona as a team make too many service errors in that second set to keep them in that.
So side switches at 5 in the third set. That's only to 15. You always talk about winning those 5 blocks. Martin and Harris coming out ahead in the first side switch, 3-2. Cut you the other way.
The team of Norwood and Todd for Colorado Mesa really steady in terms of their ball control. Consistently pass the ball forward, stay behind the ball offensively as hitters, and are moving the ball around the court. If you're Arizona, you need to put more service pressure on them.
Colorado Mesa played just one duel yesterday, ended up losing to Arizona State 5-0, and it came down to the twos who pushed it to a third set. They're looking to get their first point of this tournament. They're going to play immediately after this against Cal.
And just slight levels of improvement for the program is what David Scaff, the head coach for Colorado Mesa, is looking for. Improvement, learning from their experiences.
There's a look at David Scaff as he is alongside his assistant as well, Kailani Rust.
She played beach at Orange County College and sells real estate in the Colorado area. Good kill again, Natalie Todd finding the cut shot and the ball control. Look at good pass, nice consistent set. That's something the fives pair for Colorado Mesa is doing extremely well.
Service error ties it back up again at 5. Holly, do you serve different in a short set like this?
Well, I think you need to serve strategically. I don't think you want to serve directly at a certain person unless you're, trying to pin them deep or serve them short. But a little bit more strategically at the end, Colorado Mesa attacking that middle. I love the middle serve. It creates a little tweak in the offense, communication pressure.
What about errors? Do you serve a little more conservatively?
No, I think it's a fine line. You want to be aggressive. You want to put pressure on the serve receive for the other team. You can't serve easy in the third set. Ball control error. Chelsea Harris set that ball too tight, and Natalie Todd takes advantage of that, killing the ball for Colorado Mesa, now with a 1-point advantage. Norwood and Todd, just the steady Eddie team. Not doing anything fancy, but taking care of the ball with their contacts.
Here's Harris. Solid defense from Colorado Mesa, and then the transition the other way.
So, Erin Norwood controlling the ball, and then look at the transition set by Natalie Todd. Puts it up in a good position, and then in my opinion, Chelsea Harris needs to drop off the net when the set is more than 2 feet off the net. Drop off and play defense.
Yeah, as you mentioned, those little players, so she's off. Norwood's just 5'6", Harris 6 feet, and so Todd kept that set off. Colorado Mesa's had 3 service errors in this short set, and in a way that is keeping it close. That ball's out.
Tough play right there for Chelsea Harris to make as a left-handed player. But here's the joust. Norwood wins it at the net at 5'6", but Arizona had another opportunity and made an unforced error.
Harris, no one on, ball coming over her shoulder. Here's Norwood again. Harris stays up.
That ball hit long. McKenna Martin read it all the way, following it out, but Colorado Mesa relentless, keeping the pressure on Chelsea Harris. She's new to the game and really working her on serve receive and then digging balls in transition.
Holly, what's going to differentiate these two teams from each other down the line if they've kept it close the entire time?
Well, like I said, I feel like Norwood and Todd have been steadier with their ball control. So it comes down to better serving, who's going to serve the ball better and create some point scoring opportunities with their defense.
Off the block.
There, McKenna Martin takes care of things and able to score a point off the dig.
Tied up at 8 apiece, a short set, only to 15, win by 2. And for Colorado Mesa, well, they know that Arizona's already won the duel. They're just looking to put the first point on the board for this Division II school in this tournament.
McKenna Martin asking that ref if is that ball wide. Look at this ball. Wow, that is close.
The official coming down to take a look at it.
That's a good idea. We'll see what she rules. Felt like it might have caught the line at the end. Nope, the referee says it was out.
Nice set for the lefty coming in. Walker is there. She was lined up.
Colorado Mesa really making Chelsea Harris contact every ball. In transition, if she's off the net, they're going to hit at her. She's the least experienced of the two players. She's very physical, but decision-making is a hard part of the game, and that comes with experience.
Snapped. You can see the moments where Harris really has it. It all comes together.
Yeah, but Colorado Mesa touching those balls defensively. Yes, they didn't come up with that ball, but the fact that they're touching them says a lot about the Colorado Mesa defense.
Todd up. Goes away from the defender.
Yeah, every time Natalie Todd sees an angle block, she sees it and executes with a high cut shot over the block. Good court vision.
A 5'9" junior is Natalie Todd, big part of this program again.
From Bismarck, North Dakota. Two players from Bismarck, North Dakota for Colorado Mesa. Katie Scherr at ones as well.
And she's one of those 3-year players as well. She was with this program from the beginning.
There, Arizona able to get that ball to drop, but Colorado Mesa hustling for every contact, trying to win this match.
Yeah, Todd has done some great things. She's had blocks, serves, kills, 13, or number 13, that's 7 points in this set for Colorado Mesa.
That's the play right there that Arizona wants, an errant pass. And that comes from service pressure, tying it up at 11-11. They haven't been able to get too many tweaks in the pass from Colorado Mesa, who's been so steady.
Tied up at 11 apiece, short set, win by 2.
How about that?
Big
McKenna
block.
Martin with the defensive block in the right space. Saving the point, going up by 1 in this third set.
You can see the Wildcat teammates cheering for her.
Colorado Mesa calling a timeout. They know they can win this match if they take care of the ball on their side of the net.
We'll take a look at the schedule while they're taking a break. For Colorado Mesa, they're not going to get much of a break because immediately they're going to turn around and play Cal, and Cal has looked terrific in this tournament.
They certainly have 5 new freshmen for Cal and contributing at a very high level. They looked unbeatable yesterday.
And then we're going to end with a top 15 matchup, Cal versus Arizona. So Cal's going to play some back-to-back. They're warming up right now, preparing for Colorado Mesa, but once they get out in the sun and sand, Holly, they're playing right away afterwards to Arizona. And for you, I know we've talked about it a bunch, it's no big deal, right? I mean, that's what you're used to.
Absolutely. It's
what you want to do.
Yeah, it's 2 matches, and I'd rather play back-to-back than play and then sit and get cold and then have to re-warm up again.
Wind's starting to kick up a little bit here.
Yeah, it's picking up a little. It feels good. Not too swirly.
Coaches taking a moment and talking with their teams.
This year, the timeouts are officially about 2 minutes, so 1.5 minutes sitting down with your coach. So they're a little bit longer this year than last year. I just learned that yesterday.
Yeah, 15 seconds to kind of walk and sit down, 15 seconds to walk back.
Correct.
So time for more information. How long were the timeouts in the AVP all those years?
A minute?
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of time.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot of time. I mean, if you're dying and you really need to regroup, okay, the more time the better. But I don't want to sit for too long. Just give me some good information and some ice water and I'm good.
Well, you were always winning, so you always wanted to get back out there.
Not always.
Pretty much. 72 Beach wins, if I haven't mentioned that in a while. Martin and Harris with a 1-point lead in a third set. No, it doesn't decide the duel, but for Colorado Mesa, there's plenty of meaning. And look at the attitude as they walk back out. Norwood smiling, pumped up with Todd.
They have good energy together as a team.
Norwood taking over half the court. No one on. The set was not what they wanted, and point for Colorado Mesa.
Well, McKenna Martin there to dig the ball, but Chelsea Harris, new to the beach game, not super comfortable in the setting role. You need to bump that ball or set that ball up and down with an apex. If you push it wide, it really limits the hitter.
You know, I say it's the toughest skill for people new to the game.
It really is. I think between setting and the decision to stay at the net and block or drop off the net, those are the 2 biggest challenges.
Well, and if you're a good setter, people want to play with you.
Definitely.
A serve leads to a side change, and Colorado Mesa in the driver's seat.
And Colorado Mesa continuing to put the pressure on Chelsea Harris. They want to make her pass the ball. They want to make her set the ball. They want to put the game in her hands.
Todd trying to close the door. Harris down, and boy, Norwood gets everything up. Tough angle coming over her shoulder. Set was tight, and Harris closed the door. They're checking on each other, make sure they're okay. A little contact.
Little contact under the net, but wow. Colorado Mesa really making Arizona work, and Chelsea Harris able to block that last ball to end the rally.
Take a look under the net.
Fortunately, nobody was hurt.
Todd and Harris exchanging a little check-in with each other. Tied up 13 apiece. Nice serve by Harris. Clear cross-court dribbler.
Well, Todd trying to go really sharp with that cross-court cut shot, but does not execute it on her side of the net or on the other side of the net. Match point.
Martin and Harris get this point. Arizona sweeps the duel. If not, Norwood and Todd staying alive. Todd.
Wow, McKenna Martin all over that. Just kind of lost her footing. She was in the right place at the right time, but fell before she could make that dig.
Sand monster came up and grabbed her.
Yeah, we call that a sand snake. You don't see it. Her feet just grabbed by that sand snake.
Yep, maybe a hole or who knows. It's up. Turning it the other way. Todd staying down. Harris is set. Not at all where she needed it to be. And it was in, deep.
Norwood and Todd relentless. And McKenna Martin taking a first step too early instead of waiting and reading the game. She was stepping up for the short shot, got caught deep.
Match point for Norwood and Todd. Harris's pass no good, and Colorado Mesa gets their first point of the tournament.
Big win. Colorado Mesa able to reach their goal. That's the first point of any of the duels they've played here in Tucson, Arizona. And David Scaff and his program need to be proud about that.
They have about 20 minutes to celebrate it because they're going to come up against Cal. But Arizona wins the duel 4-1. The five pair, Natalie Todd and Norwood, the only point on the board for Colorado Mesa in a hard-fought battle. We'll be back at the top of the hour. Cal and Colorado Mesa coming up next.